Hey everybody, welcome into Warp Factor 10, our show about all things Star Trek here on the Arena Productions. I'm your host Expat, and in this episode we're going to be talking about Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 3, titled In the Cradle of Vexilon. So it was a really cool episode. Of course, this episode focuses on Boimler, Mariner, Tendi, and Rutherford a lot. And before I get into the episode, though, I just want to let you know that there's going to be spoilers that I'm going to be talking about throughout. So if you've not watched the episode yet on Paramount Plus, please go and check it out and then come back and enjoy this video, because I'm going to be throwing a lot of spoilers out there about the episode in this recap and review. So let's go ahead and get started. They go to this utopian planet, and it looks so similar to the Halo games when you see like the Halo there that they're on. And this utopian planet is basically it's run by a supercomputer that's like millions of years old, it seems. And but what I really loved about this episode was the twist between both comedy and the character development. Character development in this episode was really, really strong. But that's how Lower Decks usually is. You know, the twist between the comedy and the character development, especially with Boimler in this episode. And boy, oh boy, I'm really, really loving the new addition of T'Lyn, because T'Lyn basically saves the day again and is the moral support for Boimler. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But obviously you get Tendi, Rutherford, and Mariner. And, they're thrilled about being able to see other parts of the ship, and and to see and do other things as lieutenants now. But now, of course, they have to go into other than the anomaly room, they have to do this menial labor with isolinear chips. They have to scan isolinear chips, and they basically, it came to the point where Tendi thought, hey man, that we're being hazed, in this sense, by our superior officers. And it kind of it was true. But it's interesting how they deal with this, and I'll talk about it just a little bit more in a minute or so. But I loved the Lancelot, the kind of like a ferret creature that's of course owned by Billups. And he's all running around in the room with the isolinear chips and throughout the deck. And I thought that was really cool. And of course, we also get the Betazoid gift box, the Wadi game board, and of course, later in the episode, you see Rutherford get transported into that game, the board game, and he's like doing the hopscotch with the girl. And that was pretty funny. And then, of course, the device from the inner light. So that was really cool. Back to Boimler. It's funny how T'Lyn was telling him about those cylinders. They're highly volatile and they're explosive. And that just set Boimler off to where these ensigns, he was an ensign like weeks before and working together with them at the same rank, but now he is their superior officer. And he's the commander of this away mission. And when he found out that from T'Lyn, it's funny how he just freaked out and he wanted to do everything by himself. But this is where the moral support came in that I really like from T'Lyn, because as the planet started to destabilize, because when Captain Freeman was trying to reboot the system and all, everything just went crazy. And it's the planet, you see this volcano forming and everything. You see clouds becoming ice and crashing to the surface. But with Boimler, it was interesting how T'Lyn basically had to tell him, you have to take responsibility and the action of being a Starfleet officer, and the risks that are taken as you join Starfleet. You have to let these ensigns work with you. You can't just do everything yourself. They have to be a part of this and help out. And so of course Boimler at the end there was got them to help. And then, of course, when the system had to be shut down, of course, Boimler, he dies, but he's revived. And I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, it was a really fun episode with the character development and all. And I'm really interested to see later on in the season what other kind of tasks, whether they're menial tasks or they're going to be more heavily focused on character development. I'm really interested to see that. So let us know in the comments what you thought about this episode, about all of the characters that were involved when it came to Tindy and Rutherford and Mariner and the other lieutenant that was basically hazing them. And at the end of the episode there, you see him there with Commander Ransom and basically admitting that it was like a hazing job to the new lieutenants. But anyway, let us know in the comments what you thought of the episode. And if you like this episode, please be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell for when we drop a new episode of Warp Factor 10 here on the Arena Productions, as well as all of our other videos here on the Arena Productions. So I've been your host, Expat, and we're looking forward to next week's episode of Star Trek Lower Decks. And I will be doing another recap and review episode here on our Warp Factor 10 show, our show about all things Star Trek. So anyway, live long and prosper, and we hope to catch you next week. So take care, everyone. Peace out.